Hey, my lovely geography kids, how's it going? Um, so, what I want to do with this video is outline to you what's going to be happening in the next wee while, and specifically a little bit of explanation regarding the first assessment task. Um, so, I'm going to be posting the full assessment today, and with it, I'm also going to be putting up a tip sheet, which is going to have plain English explanations of what is involved in each task, what you should be aiming to cover, that sort of thing. However, it's important that you don't look at that whole thing, get overwhelmed and freak out, because it's going to be taking us several weeks. And as you may remember me saying earlier, we're going to be, as we go, we're going to be doing classroom learning that's going to support the assessment tasks as they come along, and form a kind of a logical progression of lessons that will help, not just with the assessment, but will help you understand your topic hopefully much better. So what we're really just going to focus on today and for the next wee while is task 1, which is explaining the geographic nature of your issue. There's a few things to think about when you're doing that. Remembering that a geographic issue is an issue which is taking place in a specific environment or environments, and involves some interaction between the natural and or the cultural environment. So what you've got to think about firstly in this part is, what are the different aspects or types or parts of this issue? For example, if you're looking at human trafficking, what are the different types of trafficking? If you're looking at refugees, you've got to look at refugees as well as internally displaced people, that kind of thing. Then you've got to think, okay, geography, so location matters. Where does this happen? And then the other half of the equation with geography is people. Who does it affect? So that's your kind of your three basic starting points. What is the issue? What are the different parts of the issue, all rolled into that? And then where does it happen? Who does it affect? Okay, then the second slightly more complex part of it is, which parts of the cultural and or the natural environment are interacting to create this issue. So if we think about it, we think, say, for example, conflict diamonds, that they occur obviously where naturally occurring areas of diamond production are found, and then those areas are interacting with areas where there is weak, ineffective or corrupt governments, or armed groups trying to take control of the government. So you've sort of got to have an overlay. Here's your diamond production, there's your weak governments, and then only the areas where the two cover is where you're going to get conflict diamonds. Here you're just going to have civil war, here you're just going to have diamonds, here's where you have the conflict diamonds, so to speak. And the last part of this really is, who are the main actors? Who are the main sort of 2 or 3 or maybe 4 groups that really affect this issue, and have the ability to make some changes in this issue. So if the earlier part was who does it affect, say we're talking about refugees, well obviously we talk about who refugees are or can be. But then in this part, who are the main actors? Well, it's people like the UN, I suppose, governments, other armed groups perhaps that are trying to take control and that are causing this, this sort of situation or whatever it is. So who are the people that, if they modified their behaviour, could also contribute to improving or solving the issue? Okay, remember finally that this is an achieved only task. So whilst you do need to give a thorough outline in order to make sure that you're setting yourself up for a thorough project or report or assessment or whatever you're doing, you don't need to go into huge amounts of detail. This is one of the few times where it's about how broad an area you cover and not about how deep you dig. Otherwise, you're going to set yourself up for just overwork, basically, with too much to think about. And you know, if you spend 8 hours and 5 pages on this task, I hate to think what you're going to do for the more important ones. So don't get bogged down with this. Later today, I'll be posting a worksheet which is going to go through all of this stuff and hopefully bring a lot of clarity for you as well, so that it's there for you in black and white and you can see exactly what I've just been talking about. Okay, and finally, the other thing I'm doing this afternoon is scheduling Zoom meetings for the different topics. So keep an eye on your email, and the dates and the times will be attached to those different topics. So until then, take care, take it easy, and don't forget you can always email me and that kind of stuff if you do have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in a Zoom. See you.